Hey guys, I'm back, and today it's kind of a rant, kind of like like a video of, you know, like of of a workplace kind of thing. Like, for those of you guys that don't know, in the daytime I work at McDonald's, normally 3 to 8 p.m. I don't really know what you'd call that daytime, but today, since it was like a weekend and like Labor Day and all that shit, well, it was yesterday. It was from 2 to 10 p.m. I don't know why. I'm guessing it's because at 2 o'clock I got off at about like 10:55 because of exam testing schedule. I had a couple of minutes at home. I came in like, worked my butt off, and then like I found out that none of the closers come in. So like I'm like like grilling, frying, you name it, like trying to get like chickens, tenders, McNuggets, like made for that nighttime menu because like I was leaving in like 15 minutes and like they just switched. None of the closers came in, so it was only like Michelle and like Danny that were there to close. And like you, they schedule closers. So if you think of this in a baseball kind of term, okay, there's starters which are like there from like 10 to 4, which that's kind of like the starting pitcher. It's like a pitching rotation I'm talking about. 10 to 4 is like usually the like normal rotation. The starters that like all that like amazing stuff that like fry and all that stuff. They start from 10 to 2. I mean from 10 to 4. Sometimes they get off at 2, sometimes 3, And then like I'll normally come in, this is kind of like a warming up phase, like in the bullpen kind of thing. Like what you like compare this to, since they leave in like an hour, like on like be warming up in the bullpen, which means I'll come in like like slowly like get acclimated, like clock in, get a drink or something, and like like slowly like like make some things, like maybe I'll fry some chickens or maybe some something like that, like every once in a while like that, and then I'll just relax for a little bit. Like that kind of warming up in the bullpen kind of thing, like like standing and ready, like for an hour. Then like those starters leave off. I'm in. Normally it's this person. Like I'm not gonna say your real name. I don't know why I said Danny and Michelle's real name. Let's just call Michelle Stephanie, and Danny. Let's call him Matthew. And then this person, I'm not gonna say her real name. Let's just call her. Let's say let's call her Hannah, shall we? Okay, so this person Hannah, like will come in at about 4, and like like and help me out in the kitchen, like I'll like grill. She'll like make some of the food, like when I'm not like grilling and frying, I'll help her out with making the food and all that like stuff. Like she's like that second relief pitcher that's in there, like like a baseball kind of thing, like like I'm warming up, I'll be in for like an inning or something, like she'll. And then like a college thing, like I would compare this to, like we take taking turns pitching. How like sometimes they'll go, I believe the Cubs did this like a year ago, where they put Travis Wood like out in the right field, and then they had another pitcher come in, and then they just had him like switch every out or like every pitch. I don't remember which, but it was like like they switched for like all that stuff. They switched those positions, and yeah, that's kind of what I compare that to. Then like she's there till 10, so it closes at 11, so like those closers come in at about maybe I believe, yeah, about 10, I believe would be. I mean, actually most of them come in about 8, like they'll close, like they're like shh and all that stuff, like all really like, and then I leave about 8, like maybe a little bit sooner if I have been working for a longer amount of time. And like I'll like go, like then those closers come in, like a closing pitcher, like, and just close out the day. Like a closing pitcher is someone that comes out to close off the game in like a safe situation, or if that's not a safe situation, they're just like trying to get them in work. and like so that they don't get rusty. Please excuse that. That's my cat. She's kind of a needy little asshole. So like, um, Hannah is there till like 10, and that's when she leaves. Then like those 2 hours, like the closers will be like doing their thing in that last hour. Like at about like maybe 10, they'll start like closing off stuff like cleaning the grill, cleaning out the fryers, changing out the frying oil, like those kinds of things, like um like, and like the last 2 hours, like I'll be like cleaning up, like it's kind of thing like a transition period, like between shifts like that. Oh, she just found a way in. God. Like a transition kind of period, like like I'll be cleaning, I'll fry a little bit, like since it's slower, I'll just be like doing that kind of stuff, and like and then like I'll clock out at about 8, and then like like I'll go home. Then those closers will like finish out the day or the night, like. And our McDonald's doesn't, I believe, do not have the 24-hour drive-through. So like 11 o'clock, then everything's off. Everybody goes home, like all that pretty little stuff. Like my rant here is, you're scheduled to come in on a holiday and you don't come in, like McDonald's says it, like if you don't come in on a holiday and you're scheduled to work, you're terminated automatically, like no second chances there. And we had none of the closing people came off, so like it's kind of unfair to leave the manager and the assistant manager, who's like Stephanie is the manager, and then I believe that who is the guy that we said? Crap, I don't remember who we said the guy. How about we just call the guy from now on? How about we call him Mark, and then Mark to just like do that stuff. It's kind of unfair because you're supposed to be closing your schedule, like they're trying to have an easy day, and that manager, like, the other managers decide not to come in for some reason. Like everybody decided not to come in even though they were scheduled. Like, so that manager was there all day, and I know this one person, like she was scheduled to get off at 4. She got off like at 8, I believe. Like she got off at 8 because nobody else was here. And I believe there's this one guy. Let's call him Brandon. Was like there, like like he's not really a good employee. Like I was like picking up some of his slack, and like I was making stuff. He wouldn't communicate to me like, hey, I need more chickens today. So like we had like 11 orders of McChickens. It was like, oh, we're out. So like I'm rushing to get stuff, which is like 3-4 minute period like in between those. So like it's like annoying. If you guys don't come in, like that's unfair to the rest of the people. You guys should quit or step down from your jobs, because that's kind of unfair. Like it's irresponsible. It's selfish, most of all. It just makes me want to strangle you, punch you, like murder you if it was legal to do, which I'm not gonna do that. I don't condone any of this, like any violence. But like just come in. It makes it easier for everybody. Like just don't be that one person that's selfish and like, hey, I don't want to come in today, blah blah blah, so I'm just gonna stay home, let them do it. Like McDonald's would just terminate you. Let's be honest, fast food business has a lot of turnover. So if you don't come in, like you shouldn't be working. Like if you're scheduled to come in, just come in and do your job, then get off. Like get your money's worth, get paid, because like if somebody else isn't scheduled, then that's really unfair to the rest of the people that are there, Like, are you following me? Like, put in the comments, like, if you have had this or anything like that. Like, and back to that one girl, let's call her Carly. Let's call her Carly. Like, she'll basically just like, she was scheduled to be off at 4. She got off 4 hours later because nobody was coming in, and like she was like helping me out because I was only on my like 8th day yesterday, and like she really wanted to go home. She was there since they opened at 10, and she stayed 4 hours past when she was supposed to get off. That's unfair to everybody, like that's really like a selfish thing if you guys do not come in. Like, I lost a lot of respect for you if you don't come in and you're scheduled, especially on a holiday like this when they like physically need people because a lot of people go out of town. You can't work. Okay, yeah, I kind of understand that, but at least call and like say something like, "Hey, I won't be able to come in this day or this day," or like request the time off in advance if you know you're gonna get out. Like, don't be that one person that like lets everybody else down. Like, this is multiple people because none of the closers actually came in. Like, we were understaffed. Like, I believe the rest of the people there were just people that stayed longer than they were supposed to. Like, this girl Takaya, let's call her, crap. There's a lot of people in this story. Let's see. So, let's call her. Let's call her Caitlin. Okay, so like her and I were the only ones that were scheduled that came in at the time. Like, I came at 2, she was scheduled 4. We came in, like, got off at the same time, did our jobs, right? Everybody else was like staying past there, racking up overtime because nobody else was coming in. Nobody else that was scheduled came in. That's unfair to everybody. So it's like, dude, come on, like, dang it, like, don't make everybody else's life harder just because you want a day off or something. Like, if you're sick, call in sick. Like, don't make the day about you. Don't be that selfish and egotistical and all that stuff. Like, that just makes people want to punch you and like, I believe that you should get at least, and like, I wish like you could get jail time, like, like teach them a lesson, like, like it just really gets on my nerves. Like, you wish like like a big fine, like $1,000,000 or like a lot of jail time if you do not come in, but that's just not the reality. I know this tends to happen a lot, but like, don't be that one person, people. Like, that's really, I'm trying to tell you. Like, you make everybody else harder. Like I had 15 minutes left. I was like really tired because I normally just work 3 to 8. I worked at 2 to fucking 10 p.m. And it's like, people, like, you're making everyone else harder. Like, I'm rushing. I'm trying to do everything I can, and you're just like, oh, I don't want to come in. I'm not coming in. Like, that makes my job that much harder. It just gets on people's nerves like that. Like, you wish that you could just like throw them, like, like in the ring or an octagon, like a MMA or UFC match or a WWE match, and like body slam them, like physically hurt them. Like, that's how much it gets on your nerves when people do not like do this. Like, comment any stories if you have stories like this, or you've like had co-workers like this. And it just really gets on people's nerves. So yeah, please don't be that one person that's scheduled to come in, especially on a holiday, and does not come in. So that's basically it. Thank you for watching, and bye.